Hi everyone, Anubhav from Voca Tales. So today morning I was working on a copy for LinkedIn, and just before posting it, I had these last four lines on the post where these were a category of people that I was working on that have helped me in this journey of building Voca Tales thus far. Not every single person; it's very hard to put names of every single person on a post, but these are high impact, strategic impact people that really have helped me and the team to build this far. And randomly, I put certain names on each of these four categories, and these names were supporters, experts, believers, and navigators. And that's what you see on the screen right now. And when I read through those four categories again after posting, I realized I might actually be onto something here. I've been a corporate guy, a corporate storyteller. And clearly, over the years, two by twos have been a very constant part of my life. Different story. I deal with three-act structure and five-act structure and hero's journey a lot more because, on Voca Tales, you can build creative stories. It's a creativity platform. But one of the other use cases that we've been working on and building on Voca Tales is to create this idea to action journey. So if there are frameworks that you know of that you want to learn from, where do you apply? How do you apply those frameworks to yourself, to your life? So Vocatales is the place where you can bring in these different kinds of frameworks and then you can start putting your own application of those. And I'll show you in a minute how we do that. So this is a matrix. I believe this is a very unique one for a founder's journey. I call it Founder's Ally Matrix. I coined the term just today morning after that LinkedIn post. And at the cost of not sounding like Michael Porter or Philip Kotler, I would rather just call it a startup relationship quadrant. Let me show you what that is. I'm on the Vocatales board right now. It's in dark mode. I'm going to change the preference just a wee bit, take the grid off to simplify it. Here's what this matrix really is all about. X and Y axis of the two by two. On the Y axis, now I have high availability, people who are there for me. They can be people who are just around me, or they can be people I can buy certain services from as experts. And then people's input in terms of the quality of that input to me is also on the Y axis. That is the level of strategic nature of that input. And on the X axis, I have two elements. One, those who believe in me, and that's the reason they're doing what they're doing for me. And two, those who bring a very high specific skill and capability to the table so that they can help me move forward. And as I started plotting this out, those who fall in the high availability, high belief category, I put them in as supporters. I'm going to dwell a little bit more on this. High availability, high capability, high skill, they're experts, and then high strategic input and high capability. I put them in the navigator category. So quick presentation around this. Supporters, they are your biggest cheerleaders. You need them along. You don't need them. You don't need too many of them, but you really need at least one or two of these supporters who are around you. They have a heart. They are available for you. They can give you a shoulder when you need it, and and they lift your morale high. These could be friends, family, early champions, people you've worked with, anyone. But you really need that around you. The next category is people who bring in certain level of skills and capability, something that you may not have in a product team, in a startup team, and they are willing to roll up their sleeves and get going. Areas where I've taken this help: legal, financial. I'm a sales guy, so distribution, while it comes natural to me, direct to consumer is a different ball game, and I've been working through that. But I think I have that figured out. we understand technology. We are building a technology platform. We know how to really build it around. So those things are covered, but there are some areas where we really have had to seek out this expertise from people. What they bring to the table is a very serious level of skill and direct hands-on contribution. They are a leverage for you at critical moments when you really need them, when you need a job to be done. The next one is believers. These people, they bet on you, and they bet on you no matter what, because you either you've worked with them or they have been long-term friends. This is a category of people that I can't just do without, the friends and family circle, and you really need that their conviction and their alignment to your vision as well. So they are in no matter what. They have your back, and they see you, the true you. They know the true you. They bring that gravity to what you bring to the table. And then the last category are the navigators. And these are people who've been there. They have a high capability. They can contribute, but they've been there, and they also have their input counts, because they're a strategic thinker. They see the big picture. They also see the roadblocks faster than you probably can, because they've walked on that road before. They give you a big level of strategic dimension and a direction as well. End of the day, you are still going to own your own business, so don't forget that you still have to work and build it yourself. But you need these navigators as well with you. They could be mentors and much more seasoned founders than you are. Whether it's in your industry or not, sometimes it does not matter. It does every once in a while. So what I did further was, and I created this. I enjoyed putting this all together. Gave myself a pat on my back, and then I said, let me build this just a little bit more. And I added these further details of these allies. So opening this up on a document, and here it is. So founder allies, uh, categorize each quadrant based on the frequency of need, the depth of the impact that they provide, stage sensitivity, whether you are an early stage startup, a late stage startup, or you are, pre-revenue, post-revenue, depending on where you really are, what kind of support you need, whether it's an emotional or a strategic support that you really need. Put each of them under the categories: supporters, experts. Looks like believers is missing here. I'm going to add that quickly. Seen. So now believers. Why do you need them? Clearly, you need them at different points of time. There's a little bit of rating that I've done. You need supporters no matter what, but they are still fourth in my list at this point of time, because when you're building a business, along with those supporters that can lend you their shoulder and hand, you need these experts, navigators, and believers as well. Some final thoughts. Now, this is where the idea to action journey really happens on Vocatales. Taking a step back into this, I'm going to move this video away, zoom to fit. And what I also did was a level deeper, and I kind of went into the allies, this here, and I created a matrix to build for anyone. Now here it is. Here's the same matrix, but now these are your champions. These are your supporters. These are your different characters that are part of your movie, your journey, your startup, your business. You can go out and make these changes up to each of these. Here they are, and you can essentially change, add their names. I can say, this is probably Stuart, and this is probably Jay, and so on and so forth. I can make these changes uh, to to these quadrants, and there you go. My startup matrix is ready. It builds on from this point onwards, and you can really create your own Allied team, Allied powers using this matrix. If you're really interested in this, DM me. And I've really enjoyed building this matrix. I can certainly say that this is something that you won't find anywhere else. There's tons of material that's available, but this is something that I built, and happy to share with anyone who's interested. Happy creating stories, happy telling stories. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thank you.